Yep. Great. I am ready. Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. Hey, this is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys checking in with us every night. Hey, we're going to go over a couple classic distractions that are really preventing you from focusing on what you need to do here in the next 5 to 7 years. Before we get to that, there's some good news today. Unemployment is at the pre-pandemic levels. It's at 3.6% nationally, which is insanely low, which is unsustainably low, right? So now we're going to have some problems finding the right people, right? So the marketplace is open. Hopefully more people come back to work, put themselves in the marketplace, and doing that. Now, we talked about the last show that I did, where we have this really unique situation where we have good unemployment is low, there's a pending recession, interest rates are up, and inflation is up, right? So it's a weird little scenario that we haven't seen on a regular basis, right? So we have to go back in time and look at that stuff, and we're going to cover that on our Red Talk on August 4th, Wednesday night. Hopefully we'll see you there. You can go to events at mrtxre.com. Check it out. We're going to talk about a couple distractions, okay? So first thing, January, everyone's all about goals and everyone's about Instagram, and this is my dream house, and this is my vision board, and I'm going to get all this stuff done, and this is going to be great, and this is the car I'm going to drive, and I can't wait, and I'm going to be there with everyone, it's going to be great. Well, okay, I get it, right? But, at the end of the day, the top 5% earners in this country, are making $340,000 a year. And I would say that's pretty darn good, right? Yet I talk to almost everyone on Instagram says they're making $1 million a year or want to make $1 million a year, right? So it's kind of crazy when you think about it. So all the top 1% earners have Instagram accounts and TikTok videos. It doesn't make sense, right? So the exaggeration in social media is just nonsense, but that's one of the big distractions for you, is that you're believing these people on social media. You're believing these people out there talking to you about, owner financing, a lease option, and making millions and millions of dollars, because you can't. At least not year one, about year 10 after that. So there's a lot of noise out there. And we're going to talk the second half of the show how to clear the noise, right? I don't know if you remember Kevin Costner movie. There's not very many Kevin Costner movies that I don't like, and it's called For Love of the Game. And he's a pitcher who pitches a no-hitter at Yankee Stadium, right? Anyway, perfect game too. I'm distracted, and we're talking about not being distracted. Okay. So here's the first thing you need to do if you're trying to focus on your $1 million goals, right? You have to resign your position as emperor of the planet. No longer are you in charge of everything and have to state an opinion on how everything has to be run, right? Or point out all the injustices, real or non-real, right, that are out there in the world. And the whole thing, Tom Hanks eating babies, all that stuff. You gotta just get rid of all that stuff. And I didn't make it up. It was a rumor. The news cycle is so powerful right now, and social media is so powerful that put all that stuff in front of you. It is a great, great distraction. And to think that you need to listen to all this stuff 5, 6, 7 times a day, right, is even crazier. There are certain economic data points that we need to be aware of and that we watch and follow. And there are certain business websites that we'll go to and watch. Jason and I am talking about to get our data points and move forward. But the stuff that's going on in Michigan or Arizona or in Congress, none of that is going to have a great impact on what you're doing to become independently wealthy. Yet, and this is the biggest turnoff for me, I will talk to people and they'll go down that rabbit hole. The vote was stolen. All these people are getting free services, and I can't believe the borders are porous, and everyone walks over the border, and I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And what can you do about it? I'm not a cynical guy, but I'm like, hey, I know what I can control. I know what I can do. I know the impact that I can have on myself and my community, and very little on the country as a whole. I take the perspective, I'm going to start changing the world by changing me first and focusing on the things that are good for me and my family. Yet, every political issue up there, people feel like they need an opinion on it. Even crazier, they're going to need to watch some documentary on it or read some report on it or Google it, look up on Twitter, see what this guy is saying and that party's saying on this left and the right, what all the comments are. What does Tucker have to say about it? What does Ben Shapiro have to say about it? Right? Why? Tell me the impact it has on you directly. Well, Rob, I'm a patriot and I want to make sure this country survives. I get it, but I got to tell you, it did like really, really well for 250 years without you. I think it can survive another 250 years without the great impact of the mechanical engineer, right? Or the general manager of a store or whatever it is. That stuff is just a distraction. And to think that you need an opinion on all this stuff is just absolutely crazy. It's okay to say, I'm not following that. I don't know anything about it. I have no opinion on it. Because you'll get into these groups, and that will be just a massive downward spiral on this nonsense. And it becomes just a waste of time. Some of it's fun, but most of it is just a distraction. As I say this on a news channel, a news radio station. We're going to talk more about this stuff at the Complete Real Estate Investing. It's a fundamental class. It teaches the fundamentals of real estate, how to achieve your goals. This is a big part of what we talk about, is just get the distractions out of the way. Get them out of the way. And you can go to mrtxrei.com and you'll be able to come to our complete real estate investing class. I want you to come check that out. It'll be very important for you. mrtxrei.com. Hey, hang tight. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate, and this is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, so we're just talking about some of these distractions, right? Like, I don't mind if you sit down and you want to read the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times every morning or breeze through it on your phone. But to keep going back and looking on the news and watching 3 hours of live video from the war in Ukraine, or watching 9 to 10 hours of the hearings that are going on in Congress, how does that help you get what you need? And I'm not telling you to be an ostrich and stick your head in the sand, be obtuse about what's going on around you. But man, if you're just following that and you don't have enough time to go and check out Zillow and HAR and go to the websites and look for properties and get your loans together and figure out what your finances are and attend some of the things that we're doing here, the classes and webinars, and instead you're filling your life up with that nonsense, it's absolutely insane. To a certain level, I can say, hey, at least it's somewhat intelligent. Somewhat intelligent. Now, there's some crazies on this radio station, but it's somewhat intelligent. And it has somewhat of a civic nature to it. I can appreciate that to a certain extent, but hey man, if you're doing like more than 20 minutes of news a day, that's a problem. You can get what you need in 20 minutes. But going into the stuff that has no value, no civic value, no intelligent value, nothing, is not helping anything, just stupid TikTok videos, YouTube nonsense, social media, memes. Somehow I got on a channel last night, a text thread with people I don't know who they are, but all of a sudden, like, the memes started, and I'm like, what is this? I have my text set because, hey, maybe there's something going on in the construction project, maybe there's a deal coming up, maybe there's something financially I need to take a look at, and so I have my phone on for most of the day, from like 5 in the morning to like 9 o'clock at night. And 7:30 at night, I'm seeing all kinds of stupid memes. I'm like, what is this? Now, I get it, the guys are having fun, but for me, it's a distraction. And then I'm trying to like, hey, I got to opt out of this thread. How do I get out? And I can imagine the folks that are just neck deep into social media nonsense. Well, I don't get to see my cousins or my grandkids and my wife's sister-in-law and all this other. So we spend a little time on. We're Facebooking. We like this stuff. We take. Got it. But don't come to me on January 1st and say, "Hey, in 5 years I want to retire, and I need a plan, Rob, and I need help." Okay. Well, the first thing I tell you is you only have about 20 hours a week to get this done. That's it. You have 1,000 hours a year to get this done. And it's not enough time. And if you start stealing from that 1,000 hours a year for social media or for the news nonsense or for just gossip in general, right? I mean, there are people that I know in my previous life that memorize like every stat for every player of the Astros. Oh, yeah, that year he hit 268. 13 home runs, 74 RBIs. I'm like, holy cow. You've really memorized that guy's bubblegum card. Yep. Know all the stats of these guys. Wow. Imagine if you studied financial statistics and market trends. You wouldn't be at this heck hole drinking, slop, the $1 tap, right? And so we start focusing and putting our energy into the wrong spot. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. And it's real easy to get sucked down that hole. And I'll tell you where the thought of this hour came up with me. Is I watched something where someone said, hey, one of the greatest lines in the English language is, would you please excuse me? Meaning, I don't need to hear anything you're saying, and I don't need to be in this circle. I'm leaving. But I'm going to try and do it politely. Yeah, hey, you guys got to please excuse me, and walk away. Oh, you got this whole crazy meme thread going on. Hey, please excuse me from the thread. We talk about it. Hey, man, you've got to focus for 5 years. You got 5,000 hours, and there's not enough of that. You got 5,000 hours. You got 125 days, roughly. To think that you're going to be able to get your retirement lined up and your financial freedom and your living comfortably, right? Financial security, being outcome independent, while still watching all this nonsense and then trying to drag me into it. When I sit there when you come to that 3-day class, Complete Real Estate Investing, MRTXREI.com, one of the things I'm going to tell you is, hey, I've got two focuses right now. I focus on the Mr. Texas enterprise that we have going on here, and I focus on the mastermind folks. These are my two main focuses, and I give that 12 hours a day. And I take maybe 2 hours for myself during the day, usually from 4:30 to 5:30 in the morning, getting caught up on some of the teams that I like, and then just an hour of zombieing out on the couch. For the other 12 hours of straight work time that I do, I mean, I was on the road today at 8 a.m., stopped by a couple Airbnbs because I got guests coming in for long terms. Make sure there's enough toilet paper and Scott towels, and the place was clean. We got a new cleaner. Everything looked great. I put a little shock in the pool, took care of all that good stuff. Then I went on to another job site, checked the job site, make sure the work was done right. Got one or two things we had to do. Got on the phone. I talked to probably 7 or 8 different people in my sphere, getting things moving for the day. Came back here, did some banking with my bookkeeper. Was able to look at a couple deals, had a couple meetings today. Now I'm doing the radio show. And when I'm done here, I got more work. It's Friday and you get 12 hours from me. Because I had that 5-year goal when I came here to get my stuff done. And so I hear it all the time, and we'll talk about this when we come back. Oh, Rob, man, you're just going to burn yourself out. Now, I get it. You would burn yourself out. Because you don't have the focus, and you're not on target like I am. So let's take the next 2 segments here and talk about how this works for you. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. Hey, come on out to Complete Real Estate Investing, MRTXREI.com. Whopping $97, and we'll see you there. Hey, welcome back. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, we're talking about distractions. And so one of the best things that we do around here is WhatsApp groups. And we do that with our mastermind. We do that with our real estate team. We do that with our construction team. We do that with our investment team. And we have these little groups, and all of the threads and all the activity that goes on during the day, and we're taking maybe like 500 different posts into the WhatsApp group, there'll be less than 10 jokes. Less than 10. It's polite, it's professional, and it gets this stuff done. So when people join our mastermind and we put them in these things, we shut that nonsense down. Like, oh, did you see Congress again? No, we didn't, and this is not the place to talk about it. Go talk to your 5 loser buddies because they want to talk about it. Here we talk about real estate investing and growing our fortunes. Oh, sorry. Hey, don't apologize. Just understand, we don't want that impact here. Because it's so easy to go down that hole, right? Biden, Trump, Bush, Clinton. It's so easy to go down that hole. So easy. So we don't allow it. We keep it clean. And so when you're active in that group, it is about real estate. It is about construction, and it's about service companies, and it's about the trends and the rent rates, and all. It is about real estate and about growing our portfolio so that we can become wealthy in 5 to 7 years. So here's the thing. You have heard the 5 closest people to you. You've heard that over and over. Jim Rohn, you're a reflection of the 5 closest people to you, right? Well, as I found out as I dug a little deeper, that's actually a John Wooden thing. So Jim Rohn kind of took it from the greatest NCAA coach ever. And here's what he said. There is your professional career, there is your personal life, and then there are influencers in your life. So let's do the exercise. Let's do group 1, your professional peers. What John Wooden would say, and other folks that have followed this, is write down the 5 people around you in your professional life. Write them down. Who are the ones that you talk to the most? that you interact with the most and write them down. And then what you want to look at, and so you write that down. And you say, okay, well, how about my personal life? Like I go home, there's my neighbor, there's my wife, there's my in-laws, there's my family, right? So what are the 5 people we talk to the most? Boom, boom, write those people down. And then there's your influencers. Like what books are you reading, right? Now that's another thing. When you join a mastermind or you work for me, one of the things I'll tell you, I'll ask, like they'll say, hey, how you doing? And one of the things I say is, hey, what books you reading this week? One, I'm interested. I'm always looking to read something. I'm trying to stay consistent with 1 book a week here. And I've been pretty good for like the last 3 months. But I also want to remind people that, hey, we know the statistic. You've heard it, that on average, billionaires read 50 to 60 books a week. A year. Yeah, that'd be a lot. 50 to 60 books a year. How many are you reading? And if the answer is none, then okay, well, that's one of the traits that you don't have. So I'm finishing up Peterson, the 12 Rules of Life. I had Grant Cardone before that. I did Influencer before that. I did Chaos Monkeys. That was a great book. So I'm just kind of ripping through it because I got a lot of windshield time these days. So, your 5 peers professionally, your 5 closest personal people, and then the 5 influencers. And right now it would be Jordan Peterson because that's a really long book, and I'm stuck on that. I'm also a big fan of Joe Rogan, right? Jim Rohn, for sure. Jim Rohn is a big influence in my life. And I look at these, and there's a couple guys here and there. I'm like, okay, well, these guys, I'm a big Ali fan. I'm a big Muhammad Ali fan. I mean, he's the greatest. So you got your 15 people in front of you. And here's the exercise. Pick which people on that list you don't want to be. Do I want to be Jordan Peterson? No, I do not. And when I did this exercise last week, I just started the book, and I said, well, I'm going to finish the book, and then I'm done with Jordan Peterson. He's just an unhappy dude, right? He's very smart, and probably too smart, and has come to that point where, that's the thing, like Nietzsche, when you understand and look at it from a very clinical view of the universe, you can proclaim like Nietzsche did that God is dead. That's not where I'm at, and that's not what I want to do, and I don't want to be that clinical. So I look at it and I said, okay, when I'm done with this book, I'm done with Peterson because he's not one of the 5 people I want to have influencing me. I'll finish the book because I started it and I can pull some things out of it, but who are the better 5 people I want in my life? I should probably rip through all of Gary Keller's books, so I'll put all of those on there, right? Very successful real estate guy. And you look at your personal friends like, hey, one of these guys I want to be on here. Well, this guy isn't, I'm not going to say who my family or my friends or my neighbors are on there, but there's one guy on there I don't want to be like. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do that anymore. And then you look at your peers at work and you're like, oh, I like this guy, I'm good at work. But do that exercise. And that will help you with the focus. Because I can guarantee you that if you have 2 or 3 people in that professional world that are where you want to be in the next 5 years, what they're doing and how they're doing it and how they're maintaining it is going to rub off on you. And you're going to be able to start emulating what you see from these folks. But in that 5 professional folks, you've got an unethical guy, a sleazy salesperson, a guy, unemployed guy who's always unemployed, always failing. You got to cut those people out and replace them. And one of the things I tell people in that 3-day class, if you never see me again in your life, just take this advice. Get a better set of friends. Upgrade your friend list. And that's going to help your distractions. Okay? This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. Hey, we have a 3-day class coming up this month, as we do every month. It's called Complete Real Estate Investing. I highly recommend you check it out. It's a whopping $97. There might be a VIP package at some point with some recordings and some lunch, but no, it's $97 right now. So don't be shocked if you're listening to this 6 months from now and there's a $47 add-on, whatever. But it's $97, and we really go through it. Really go through understanding the market, understanding the trends, understanding you, and then understanding the mechanics. So we do Friday night is about you and understanding you and how you communicate and how you set your goals. The second day, Saturday, is about the marketplace and real estate and transactions, and understanding how real estate works and how all the pieces fit together. And then Sunday is the mechanics, the syndications, the loan process, all that stuff. So we go from you to the industry to a very technical standpoint. It is complete. It's very, very complete. So you definitely want to check that out, mrtxrei.com. Complete real estate investing, whopping $97. We'll see you there. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. And we're talking about clearing out some of that fog and that noise in your life, that distractions that are out there. You know, again, I get my news from the AP Wire in about 20 minutes every morning. National, world, economic, I'm through. I spend about 30 minutes following the New York Giants and New York Mets. Right? I follow them. It's what I do. So within the first hour of coffee and the Mets, the Giants, and the AP Wire, I've got my enough information for the day. I feel like I'm good. At night, I'll watch, I don't know, distraction of another hour. I'm not as much into it as Brian. Brian loves the murder porn. He loves all that murder stuff. I don't watch that. I watch 30 Rock, or I'll watch a few old sitcoms, and it's just mindless for me. I'm just decompressing, and then I take the dog out, play a little bit with him, and then we go to bed, right? But other than that, there's like 5 in the morning to like 6 at night of work, and then if I have networking at night, I got to go another 7 to 9, right? So there are some days during the week where it's 5 o'clock, 4:30, I get started, and I'm in bed at 9:30, and it's been all real estate, all investment, all finance, all day long, all construction. And I'm not complaining about it. Because I know the alternative that I would probably fill it up with, and I know what I did for the first 20 years of my professional career. I was the emperor of the world. I was the king of everything. There wasn't one topic I didn't have an opinion on. I could tell you about all the secret things and bad things that corporations were doing and all the shady politics were going on. Right? I sat there and I watched it, read all these books. I used to read a book called the Top 100 Stories of the Year You Never Heard, right? Just to seem smart on this stuff, and I was broke. So I gave all that up, and you should too. And start focusing on things that are going to change your life and make it better. Not wallow and not get depressed. Then the other thing is you got to cut the people out that are distracting you. If you don't have at least 2 people in your peer group that are where you want to be in life, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. And I don't care if you have to pay for them. Right? If you looked at Jason recently, God, he is cut. He's looking great. Well, how did he do it? He paid a trainer to do it. He started doing it himself. He hit plateaus and he hired a trainer. I'm about a year behind that. But I don't have time because I work from 5 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night some days on prosperity and wealth creation. And I'm almost there. And when I am there, I'll have time to do other things. I'll carve out more time. But right now, this is what I'm given. I understand the trade-off. I understand what I'm doing. But I'm not getting distracted. My number 1 goal is moving the enterprise of Mr. Texas Real Estate forward, and my number 2 goal is making sure the folks in the Mastermind are becoming successful as well. And that's what I do. And so you need that laser focus, and what will happen is The people that you don't want to have influencing you will come around and they'll say things like, Clayton, you're going to burn yourself out, Clayton. You're working way too many hours. You need to relax. I mean, I know you're getting a lot done, but just some days you just need to have downtime. It's like, no. You're telling me about you, not me. You need the downtime because of your internal fears that won't allow you to become successful. You got mommy issues, you got daddy issues, you've got financial issues, you got some sort of weird thing going on in your head that is stopping you from becoming successful or independently wealthy or achieving the things that you want in life to get super cut and getting ready to do, a triathlon. And so those excuses become super easy to say. And so you've got to get those people. They want to suck you into that couch. They're going to it's like their hands are out and they want to pull you onto the couch and get you to get all the way down in there and suck there for 3 to 5 hours, right? Let's binge watch something. No. Let's binge learn something. Let's spend 6 hours on Saturday learning more about financing so that you're not getting manipulated by the people trying to sell you loans. I've gotten to the point in my life where please excuse me is one of the most things I say during the day. Oh man, did you see the nonsense that Liz Cheney's doing? Hey, please excuse me. I'm good. Did you see they're going to trade someone to the Heat over here to? Please excuse me. I don't follow that team. Nothing I need to know. Because I'm laser focused on two things. And there's a price for that. I get it. But I'm making a whole bunch of really good friends and friends that will help me in the future. So it's not friends. I've upgraded my friends. My health suffering? Yeah, I know. Got to take care of that. But I know when I'm done here, I'll have hit my mark. And I'll feel very good about that. And I'll have the next 25 years of my life to really enjoy it. Oh, Rob, you'll never slow down. Again, please don't project on me you. I don't need to know what your problems are. I really don't. I have one guy who works for me, and he said, boy, people are just really rude. He comes in my office, and I'm like, all right, man, where are we at with this, and this? He's like, wow, nobody even asked how you are. I'm like, I'm not interested in knowing how you are. I'm really not. Oh, my God, that's so rude. I get it. It's rude. I get it. I'm focused on two things. I'm focusing on the Mr. Texas Enterprise, and I'm focused on helping my Mastermind members. Understanding how you are or how bad of a day you had or listening to you complain does not forward those two things at all. At all. I used to have employees come in and just complain about stuff, and I'm like, you've got to get out of my office. This is not helping me or you. You've got to guard your time. You've got to guard, more importantly, your attention. The attention grabbers are out there. You will be distracted. It is really hard. It has taken me many years to get this focus. And I try not to be rude, but sometimes I am. You're going to have to excuse me. Please excuse me. This conversation is not working for me. I'm going to leave. Oh, wow. I guess he doesn't want to know anything about what's going on in the government. No, I really don't. No, not that stuff. I don't need to know about that. I've hired a bunch of lawyers who help me understand the law. I don't need this armchair quarterbacking, legal stuff. Guys, you've got to get focused. Laser focused. And it's going to take about 5 to 7 years of this. And I get it. 90% of you who are listening are never going to do this stuff. But the 10% are going to come out to Complete Real Estate Investing, mrtxrei.com, for $97, and you'll spend 3 days with us, and you'll figure out if this is for you or not. We hope to see you there. This is Robert, world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. Take care.